What's up guys, Brad with Squared Away Every Day, and today I've got a special treat. I just got back from the knife shop and I picked up this awesome beauty. What is it? Heretic? I know what it is. It's a Heretic Hydra, and boom, look at that. It's got the jade green translucent G10 face on it, and this is so sick. Typically, I know what Heretic is, and if you don't know, Heretic is a sister company to Microtech, and it's actually Microtech's owner's son who owns Heretic. Now, Heretic makes some wild looking knives. They'll make like a titanium flame touch knife. They'll make all sorts of crazy knives, and they kind of, like, to me, their knives look a little bit more on the custom side. They'll just do like crazy looking knives that are just a bit too flashy for me. But this particular knife, when I went into the knife shop today, the guy showed me this, and this is the G10 top, aluminum bottom, and typically these Hydras are a heavy knife in pocket. They're around 5 ounces, maybe slightly heavier. But with this G10 top or the G10 face, it's just slightly lighter, and it gives it a really cool look. I'm not like a green knife guy or anything like that, but it just had a cool look to it. It's got this like battle worn, it looks barely battle worn. I'm not really into that, but it's got this battle worn hardware on it. And the coolest thing about this knife is that it's a single action OTF, which means it fires so hard. It is the hardest firing knife that I own or have ever handled ever. And how they can get away with that is it's a single action OTF, which means you hit the button, it deploys out super hard, and then you actually manually have to pull the knife back in. Now, this is my first single action OTF that I've ever owned, and I've already seen some very cool differences between a double action and single action, other than the obvious thing, which is the double action opens and closes on its own with the trigger, and this does not. There's some different things to where maybe you prefer one or the other. I'll talk about it in a different video, but in this video, we're talking about the Heretic Hydra, specifically the G10 top and the aluminum bottom, and this is just such a sweet knife to handle. It fires so hard, and this does not have the safety feature on it that most Microtechs do, where like with a Microtech, when the blade comes out, if it has any sort of resistance, it'll kind of like stop or slow down, whereas this will not do that. It just comes out hard, which is why they put a safety over the trigger or the button to actually deploy the knife. So for the same reason that I really like the Microtech knives is that they're very easy to get out quickly, and they're also a safe knife to carry. I've never had a Microtech just open up in my pocket. I like this knife for the same reason, because we've got a knife here that is opens super hard, super fast, and it's very easy to do, but yet it's got this safety over it, and it's a really easy to use knife that can deploy super quickly. Now, I've heard that the Heretic Hydras are very durable knives. I don't really know to this point. I beat the crap out of all my knives, and typically they do not survive. Not one of my Microtechs has actually survived more than, I would say, a year and a half. So we'll see how this guy holds up, but I'm super excited about it. The pocket clip I've seen that they have a couple different pocket clips. One that looks like an M or an H, I'm not sure. It looks like an M. You would think it looks like an H. And one that looks like this, where it's got this little ball bearing, and it slides in and out of your pants very easily. And it's that sweet spot to where it will come in and out of the pants in a nice way, to where it's not too hard to pull out, where it's a pain in the butt, or it's too easy to where you're actually going to lose your knife. So it's got a very nice clip on it. It just feels good in hand, and it carries like a much smaller knife. Now, this knife is probably 9 inches, 10 inches long when it's actually fully deployed, but it carries much smaller in the pocket. Blade length, we're looking at just over 3.5 inches, and it's LMAX steel for this particular model. So super cool knife, really stoked about it. It carries so nice in the pocket. And if you can ever pick up one of these Heretics Hydras, the Heretic Hydras that have they're somehow lighter weight given whatever material they're going to use, whether it's like a carbon fiber or it's a G10 or whatever, I would highly recommend picking it up if you like the aesthetic of it, of course, because it's a great knife. I've only had it for maybe 30, 45 minutes, but it's such a great knife, and I love when I discover new knives. And I've known about this knife for a long time, but man, the way that they've kind of designed all their other ones being kind of heavy with like a steel body and a steel chassis, or they're like a copper top and like a aluminum bottom, or just like all these different things that make them heavier. When I got this one in hand today, when the shop guy gave me this, it just felt so good, and it felt so right. So anyway, if you like this video, please go ahead and like the video, sub to the channel, and we will see you in the next one.